this is Maya, and thank you so much for being here with me in another Sims 4 speed build. Today, we are back to building Casa Manila or Manila Home on a 30 by 40 lot in Magnolia Promenade for the hashtag Kabayan Sims Collab that is hosted by SimNice on Instagram. And this is fully functional, no custom content whatsoever, and the best part is it's up on my gallery under the ID MAIAmakes. That's MAIAmakes, which is, the same name as my channel. So if you want to stay tuned for my future speed builds, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Actually, this is part 2 of this speed build. The part 1 is for the exterior. This one we're doing the interior, but if you want to catch up on what I did for the exterior, you can check out part 1 of the speed build, which I'll link here somewhere. And I know this video has been due for the longest time ever. It's been more than a week since the last video, but if you can, please check out the other builds of this collab. Please check out Simple Cheeks, built by Rappi, Plumarima Sims, and of course SimNice. On this build collab, they have posted all of their builds here in YouTube, in Instagram, and Twitter. Check them out. They have made so many amazing builds in the Philippines. So yeah, I'm really happy to be part of this collab and to see other Filipino simmers have their own take on recreating different Filipino builds, and it's really nice to see this part of my country being represented here in this game. By the way, this collab has been going on for 3 years now, and this is the 3rd year it's going on. I have been watching other builders do their thing since the 1st year. Freezer Bunny has done his build also on this collab, so you could also check out other builds from the past. Anyway, back to this build of mine. This video here is the reason why this house costs over 800,000 simoleons. I know it's not a lot, but it is a lot for such a tiny space because I only furnished about half of this lot. The other half is just a shell, but it is fully functional. It is great for, I think it's good for an 8-sim household. Anyway, I didn't fill the whole lot. The building next door is just a shell, but I did make a build before that was more than 1 million simoleons, and that was just the exterior. I think it was based on a Disney castle, and it also got featured by another YouTuber, so you could check that out if you want. But maybe a little bit of background into this build. Casa Manila, or translated in English is Manila Home, is a real museum in the Philippines in Manila. It is based on an architectural style called Bahay na Bato. I explained it all in the previous video, but the interior here is, my god, it is beautiful. The real museum is so beautiful, and I did what I can to do it justice because it is so detailed, and the wallpapers that we have in the game does not compare to the wallpapers of the actual build. I think this whole build took me around 20 hours. I know that is such a wasteful long time of building, but you would see that I did make a lot of custom stuff, custom furniture. Even here I'm making a custom ceiling feature, custom architectural details, and other ceilings, and even the wallpaper. As I said, it is all custom made by yours truly. And I know this video is going super fast, but you could check out the tour later at the end where I feature most of the rooms of this house, just the important ones where I did a lot of custom work. So yeah. Basically, what's inside this house are, the usual parts of a home, but based on this very specific style of architecture, it has their own, the rooms have their own names. So right now we are working on the Sala Mayor, or basically it's the main living room where the guests are entertained. Right here I made a lyre, and it took me about an hour to do this. Yeah, basically it's where formal meetings are made, important house guests are entertained. Usually there are also kind of balls or dances that are hosted here. So yeah, all the important people stuff were done here. A while ago, I did the antesala, or it was like the landing of the staircase, because most of the living quarters are on the second floor. So on the antesala, that is where guests are entertained before they are moved to the Sala Mayor. Later on, there will be a dining room. There are 2 kitchens in this house. The main kitchen on the 3rd floor, it's very specific. I really made it exactly as I can, but it has some trouble with functionality. So I made an extra kitchen. There are also servants' areas and servants' bedrooms. There's the master bedroom. There are 2 bedrooms on the top floor, 3 bedrooms in the middle or the mezzanine floor. There is also a prayer room, and most of the 2nd floor is an office, or what they call a despacho. And there are 3 bathrooms here, which they're very interesting bathrooms. You'll see later on why. So right now we are working on the prayer room, or the oratorio. It's common for Filipinos to have a little altar in their home, especially for Roman Catholic Filipinos. But I wouldn't say that it's common to have a whole room just for prayer. But here I am, I'm making this, and I just add a little bit of knickknacks here and there to make it more authentic, like a prayer room. But in all honesty, I haven't seen a prayer room like this in a normal home. Usually I'd see it in a church or a chapel, but this was the times back then, and this was for a rich Filipino home. If you've been a while in this channel, you know me for doing Ghibli builds, but lately I've been very into, these Filipino themed builds. And if you're a Filipino subscriber, hello, kamusta kayo? If you're not, well, hello, and thank you still for watching this and getting a glimpse of my culture. And I wanted to do something interesting for any Filipinos watching there. Comment something down in Filipino in any of my videos. I'll definitely see it. You can give a remark, say hi, or maybe an inside joke, anything. I love connecting with you guys more and more, especially in comments below. So yeah, if you're not a Filipino, still say hi to me or share a little something about your culture too that you think that would be familiar to these builds of mine. Maybe a fun fact of your culture, about your food, your language, anything really. Or maybe something about your homes or the style of architecture that your country has. You could also share it actually in my build challenge just for you. It's actually Where in the World challenge. I'm hosting it on Instagram, and there are quite a few entries already in the gallery, but you can still enter because I moved the deadline on August 30. And my favorite room, my favorite entry will win a Sims 4 kit. But if you're not up to that challenge, but you still want to win a Sims 4 kit, you can join the giveaway that's going on in my Instagram. So yeah, I hope I'll see all of your entries there, and I hope you have fun building. So right now we are in the kitchen. I forgot what it was called, but it's a kitchen, and I will do some stuff that will make you question if this is even functional. I did try to play test it a lot of times, and mostly turned out functional, but there were still times when the sim would leave the room and go to the other kitchen and just cook there. So yeah, maybe this kitchen is just for the looks. and the kitchen below is more appropriate for functionality. Yeah, as I said, it's very specific, and I'm doing all these stuff. I'm stuffing the counters behind half walls. They still work most of the time. You just have to get rid of the clutter if you want to use it. I'm also stuffing the stove onto half walls, and it's not recommended. But yeah, I still love how it turned out, and it really made it look very rustic, very olden, I guess. Just a disclaimer, by the way, I've never been to the actual museum, so all of these things that I'm doing are based on pictures that I see online, on different tours on YouTube. But I did visit the place where this museum is located. It's called Intramuros. I visited Intramuros earlier this year, but I haven't gone to the actual museum, to the actual Casa Manila. Just such a bummer. I wanted to go there. That was the purpose why I wanted to visit Intramuros in the first place. But anyway, I actually visited Intramuros quite a lot of times now, because it's usually a staple when schools go on field trips. So my school has actually gone to Intramuros for a field trip before. But I think just this pandemic, I had this craving to visit Intramuros. I don't know why, but I just felt like it's such a beautiful place, and I haven't appreciated it that much until now. Maybe because of this this museum, and it just made me more interested in, I don't know, life back then, life when we were still under a colonial period. It was just an interesting time period, and I didn't know that they had these kind of different ways of living, especially here in this kitchen, in their bathrooms, which are still interesting to me, and a lot more stuff, actually, a lot more things that are way different than the things that we do now. It's actually interesting because I started this build maybe around June, and that was the time when I was finishing up my Philippine history class in my previous semester. It's actually quite ironic that because of that Philippine history class, I couldn't start this build immediately, because it's just supposed to be an easy elective. Everyone told me that it would be easy, but it took up so much of my time, more than my majors did, and it wasn't a fun class, but it was interesting. I mean, I wanted to learn more about Philippine history, because the last time that I did that was way back in high school, and I'm now rambling, and we should go back and talk about the build, because we are finally in the bathroom, and this is where it gets interesting. I mean, I think it's been a known fact that any kind of civilization back then didn't have a proper plumbing system. So this is what my fellow countrymen did. They had these proper toilet seats, but you had to flush them in a hole somewhere behind the seat. But these are functional in The Sims. Yeah, even though it looks so weird. All of the water that goes through the house, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, they are from, I think it's called the aljibe, which is located outside. You can see me make it in the first part of the speed build. Basically, it's a water cistern that collects rainwater so it can be used throughout the house. So now we are building the other bedroom in the third floor. It's actually meant to be a children's bedroom, and I tried to make it to have more of a personality than the other bedrooms, because I don't know, it's supposed to be a bit quirky, a bit fantasy-like, and I did try to make it like that with the wallpapers. Basically, I used rugs from vampires to make this very intricate wallpaper design, and it took me a lot of time to do it, to be honest. Apart from the wallpaper, I also did this very intricate ceiling, which is composed of these rugs. I think they're from My Wedding Stories. I think it's not a rug, it's a dance floor. That's what it is. It's a dance floor from My Wedding Stories, and I just rotated it with the tool mod and made a ceiling out of it. You'll see it in the build tour later on that it's very beautiful. In my opinion, it is very beautiful. It's very intricate and very lively. So now we are here on the second floor, and it is for the office. It is called the despacho. Usually the men are seen here because, men would do the most of the work, and they would be here with their accountants and other business people stuff. They deal their business here most of the time. So I made it very kind of serious, and it gave off that vibe because of all the dark woods that is going on in this room and these statues that I'm trying to place here. I don't know what kind of businessman this Filipino would be. Maybe somewhere in the trade, or maybe with the farming stuff, with the lands and all. I don't know, but you can make your own storyline if you do download this build. I think that was most of the custom stuff that I did. I mean, you'll see more of it here, but while I was building this, it almost broke me because I have such a specific eye for detail, and I will not stop in one room if ever I don't see it fit to my taste, to my kind of level of detail. But if you do like these custom furniture, you could always download any of my builds that are up for download in the gallery. Or if you can't access the gallery, you can get the tray file in the description box below if you can't access the gallery. And all of my builds are free to download, but if you want to contribute something to this channel, you can support me on Ko-Fi. So yeah, I am on Ko-Fi now, and I'm so happy to have a few supporters here in this channel. So if you want to support me there, you can go ahead and support me in Ko-Fi in the link below. So yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I think I should insert something a little bit from my personal life. One of the reasons why this speed build took me so long to produce is because I was in the hospital last week. If you're squeamish, by the way, just a trigger warning, this is kind of gory, at least on my part. It's because I was in the hospital because I had a piece of glass in my foot for a month, and I was unaware of it until it started to hurt so badly. But now it's fixed. I got like 3 anesthesia shots. I got a tetanus shot and 2 incisions on my foot, which hurt so bad. But yeah, anyway, I don't know what to talk about anything anymore. But we are now in the other kitchen that is way more functional than the first one. I think for big homes like this, it would be normal to have this much kitchen. So yeah, and basically this is where the servants would be usually seen. I also make like bedrooms for them and kind of a communal space for them as well in the ground floor. It's not common to have important people on the ground floor. The ground floor is made entirely out of stone, and the upper floors are usually made out of wood. And it's more common to see the more important people on the 3rd floor. But anyway, you're so close to the end of the video. Thank you so much for still being here. And if you like this video and want to see more of my builds and my content, do like and subscribe because it really helps me out a lot. Or you could also follow me on Instagram or on Twitter at MAIAmakes. By the way, this is the first time I'll be showing a floor plan after a speed build because this video really went by too fast, and I hope this helps. And the build tour's coming up, and I wish y'all have a lovely, lovely day. So, see ya!
Dag dag. Sul. Dag dag. Malinay. Sul.